Hello, my name is Chris and today I will review the 2017 Acura TLX with tech package, and for those of you in the US, that just means the all-equipped 4-cylinder. A note on the presentation, I'll start with a basic facts overview, and then during the drive I'll explain my reasoning of why I purchased this car and what else I was shopping. I always find it supremely interesting when car reviewers review their own cars, and I hope you will too. In Canada, the all-equipped 4-cylinder TLX is front-wheel drive and has the 4-wheel steering system. I think it's also that in the United States. Retailing for $39,000, you can probably also get a deal as the new 2018s are coming out shortly. The TLX replaces the TL and TSX. It slots in the middle. I previously owned a 2013 TL. In terms of general build quality, this car is better than TSX, but does not quite have the bank vault feel the TL had. The appearance of this vehicle is low risk, and this reflects the general character of the car. However, there are some interesting design elements, such as the rear wheel well bulge. From behind, it is classy. The front is arguably chunky in a good way. However, I must confess, it is more Camry than Audi. No exhaust was a cheap environmental gimmick. We do live in the age of spin, and Acura did not fool anyone. The trunk is a good size and comes with a rubber mat to protect the carpet that is well finished. Seats fold 60/40, nice and flat. The rear seats are spacious and road trip worthy. Rear vents and heated seats are included, but mobile charging is not. Not a lot of room for stuff either, and that is fine by me as no one is allowed to eat or drink anything except water in my car. The door treatment is good, and this TLX is generously equipped. Missing, however, is the adaptive cruise control. I misstated that in my 2016 review and got confused with the lane keep assist icon. Anyways, junior error aside, the interior was a major draw for me. The Milano leather feels like real leather, not leatherette, and once again, these seats are incredible. It is one of the reasons why I bought another Acura. Although I like sportiness, I live in a big city with shitty roads. Comfort is a necessity. The materials here feel good, soft touch materials everywhere, and tasteful wood trim that does not draw attention to itself. The gauges are easy enough to read, and the layout is adequate, though there are some of the graphics that linger from previous Acura products. The steering wheel is of sufficient quality and is heated, though feels like it could have come off a Camry. This is a major driver interface and a disappointment. Moving along to the center console, it looks a lot better than before, but the driver interface is still a mess. Complicated menus and awkward highlights or lack thereof make selecting an option more difficult than it should be. Thankfully, the ELS sound system plays loud and is audiophile quality, a must-have for me. Overall, it feels premium here, and even fussier customers will find little to gripe about when sitting in this vehicle. NVH is low and sound insulation is first rate, Mercedes-like. Sitting inside this Acura, it almost feels like a bargain. The handling is neutral but impressive when you consider these average tires and 17-inch wheels. Acura has engineered the chassis to be balanced and easy to drive in corners with high limits. I'm not suggesting this car entices you to drive fast, but like most sport luxury sedans, TLX can. The transmission merits mention. It is an 8-speed dual clutch with a torque converter. This means the liquid vane system of the torque converter smooths out low-speed gear shifts, avoiding the jerkiness of dual clutch transmissions. Brilliant. Along with a sturdy 2.4-liter engine, this car is a 7.5-second car and does 9.6 liters in the city and 6.6 on the highway. The city claim is optimistic, and TLX takes premium fuel. That extra cost makes the Honda Accord V6 a more powerful choice with the same fuel cost as it takes regular gas, something to think about. High on competency, low on passion, I find this vehicle serves the purpose of getting as close to the Germans as possible while maintaining a mid-size lease payment. More on that later. Here are my thoughts on the road. I think you'll enjoy my perspective. Hello car lovers, this is the review of my car. I bought it about a month ago or actually I should rather say leased it, and brought in my old Acura TL, got this one. So what made me buy this car and what was I cross shopping? Well, first I'll start with, I was cross shopping. I was looking at the Ford Fusion Titanium, and I was looking at the Mazda 6 GT. Now, why didn't I choose those cars? Well, it's pretty straightforward, is that although this car costs a bit more than those other cars, because Acura has such a high resale value and a low lease rate, that the monthly payments on a lease becomes the same price as those other cars. So you have a decision to make. I know people are going to say comparing apples with apples. Well, I compare price with price. And I wanted to get as close to a German experience as I had with the BMW 3 Series I owned a while back that I could with a non-German price, let's say. Because none of the German cars are really making me want to go out and fork that extra money out. The one that made me closest to fork out that money was the Audi A4, but the Audi A4 equipped like this car was like about, what, $400 more a month, and it just wasn't worth it. It was almost double. So what does this car have over the Ford Fusion? I think that I live in the city, and I can't take the jarring ride of 19-inch wheels, though the Fusion does come with 18-inch wheels. They're so ugly, it's not even worth talking about, that titanium model. On the Mazda 6 side, great car. Engine is not so refined, I thought, and also the mags are just too big. It's just too big. I don't want to pay, like, I don't know what it costs, $1,200 to change those tires, plus the winter. That's $2,400 every 3 years. I just don't feel like it. It's not worth it. Also, this car does some things that key things that I want really well, and some of it does better than those cars. So what are those things? Well, first of all, the quietness of the ride. I'm getting old. I'm 41 years old, and I like a nice, quiet, solid ride. This car's noise, vibration, harshness packaging is very good, as is its sound insulation. I'd say it's almost like a Mercedes in terms of just the quietness. In terms of solidity of build, not quite German, I'd say, but still very good, better than those two other cars. What about the engine? The engine, it's kind of like a love-hate relationship I have with the engine. The hate part is it takes premium fuel. So even though it drinks less than a Honda V6, a Honda Accord V6, it costs as much because of the 15% premium. That's about the savings you get in terms of fuel quantity. However, the Honda Accord is just too much of a dad's car for me. It's just too much. So the engine is good. It's a 7.5 second 0 to 60 car. That's fine. That's just fine by me. The interior quality is so much more trendy, with the exception of the Mazda 6. Nevertheless, this interior is really good. The leather is excellent. The seats are the best. It's German quality. Nice soft touch materials everywhere. The sound system is high level. It's audiophile quality. The steering wheel is a little bit disappointing, like I said in the overview. This 8-speed dual clutch is excellent in normal mode. It doesn't hunt for gears. It's very positive. It shifts really fast, and it's very smooth. Actually, it's class leading, this 8-speed dual clutch. You can put it in sporty mode. If you put it in sport mode, it doesn't become like a caffeinated squirrel. You know what I mean? It's still good. If you go Sport Plus, it just goes crazy like all those other sport modes in other cars. In terms of standard equipment on this all-equipped 4-cylinder TLX, it's very complete. There's one thing that's notably missing, and it's the dynamic cruise control. Apart from that, it has pretty much every option. Do they work well? Sort of. The lane keep assist works kind of well. I guess we're all the guinea pigs for the self-driving cars eventually. That's what companies are making us pay for, like imperfect technology. I think they're all doing that. However, the heated seats are good, and also the heated steering wheel. It's a 360-degree heated steering wheel. I really enjoy that. The touch display here, although much improved over the previous TL that I had, the infotainment interface, it still sucks. It's still difficult. The digital buttons on the bottom of the screen are small and impractical. Once you touch the auto mode, if you touch it again, you cannot turn it off. You have to go into the digital menus and turn off the fan. It's just a pain in the ass. They really, I don't know why the Japanese can't do easy interface. It's weird. What about the drive? Well, very quiet on the highway. Sufficient power, like I said before. I'm repeating myself. The handling is surprisingly neutral, and the level is surprisingly very high. I don't know if it's the pause system, which is the rear wheel steering, because the tires aren't that good, and they're not that big. However, the limits are very high. Until you get to the very limit, it's very balanced. It doesn't understeer, it doesn't oversteer. It's actually extremely competent. Does this car entice you to go fast? No, just like every German car I've driven recently. So getting close to that German drive experience without paying the price. What else about this vehicle that I like a lot? Well, it's reassuring to drive. You know, in terms of reliability, Acura is probably number 2 behind Lexus. Lexus is the all-time king. However, Acura is like number 2. And it just, during the whole time I owned my Acura, I never worried about things breaking. Never. And that's a wonderful thing. It's not just about, like, I understand BMW, Audi, and Mercedes have a wonderful in-warranty experience at the garage. I, on the other hand, do not want to go near there. I don't even want to go to a garage. And this car suits my needs very well. I just bring it to my uncle's garage. He does the maintenance. He's not afraid to work on it. He doesn't like to work on those German cars. So for those of you who have an independent mechanic, it's great. And those are my initial thoughts after 4 weeks. Now, I'll come back in a year and do a 1-year ownership review. And we'll see how that goes.